And we don't have to be up on it
Yeah.
because it's still,
I talk
you can
loud.
hear. Yeah, you talk loud, girl.
Am I
Jersey
live?
girls. All right, hi everybody. It is
Hey,
Kendell,
guys.
Lenice, and that's
Ahisha, Kalima,
and we are two Jersey girls talk. We're gonna try to be a little
Look.
quiet because we don't want to get put out.
We got an audience today, y'all. So
We don't want to be put out. Hey, cousins. So, do you want to talk about our shirts? Do you want to talk
Yes,
about that?
so guys, we have on our two Jersey Girl Talk shirts.
It looks like we like going like this, giving boo.
Booby booby.
But wait, though, the funny thing is because I just put mine on here, so I have on a cami. I have on a long sleeve shirt, and I have on a cardigan.
So if she starts to sweat on the camera, you guys.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, we don't perspire. No.
I glow. What you talking about?
We glistening and glowing
But
over
the
here.
funny thing is, in Maryland, where we are, it's freezing. It's freezing,
No.
and it was just hot.
Wait, no. So I work outside, right? Like I'm outside, so the weather matters to me. I check the weather every day, like to make sure before I go out what the weather is. So I'm out there, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Is that snow?"
Girl,
Caught in the snow.
girl, it's been snowing like last week.
And I'm bougie
and
about the
this
weather.
week.
I call. I said, "Oh, y'all know." Let me call my appointments and let them know I'm not gonna be here.
You don't go out in the snow?
I'm too old for that.
Oh, to go in the snow?
No, what I mean to work in it. I can play
Oh,
in
okay,
it, but I'm
okay.
too
Yeah,
old
you
to work for
I
anybody
got
who's
you.
going to be
I
driving
got
in that and
No,
worrying about
I
it and
got
all
you
that.
on that. I
No.
got you on
I
that.
earned the right to say
Hey,
no, I'm not going to work
cousins,
today.
I got you on that. I got you.
All right, so guys,
But-
what is our show about today? You guys have been following, you know that everything that we do is about circling back, right? So I reached out to Kendell the other day and I was like, you know what? Let's do something different. And what I originally wanted to do, I wasn't feeling it by the next week. So I hit Kendell up and I said, Kendell, what are we doing? So she said, well, let's circle back to recovery, right? So today she's like, well, maybe not recovery. That
I
sounds
said
like
recovery after breakups.
breakups. But we were saying like just to say recovery, that made it sound like oh
Yeah, no, we ain't on AA, triple A, double A, quadruple A.
Maybe AARP though.
Yeah, well, definitely. Shout out to the AARP members. I am a member. They were sending me stuff since I was 40. I was like, y'all really do this.
In the 20s, I heard that you were supposed to go on AARP like right away in the beginning of your like life.
At 20?
Yeah,
I remember when
You
I
know,
got
all these
my
little things
mom
about
an
helping people.
AARP membership.
Yeah, no, we were supposed to get AARP like right away in life. It's not a senior citizen thing.
But I need to start using my AARP benefits.
Yeah,
like
I don't even know what
hotels,
the
travels.
Right.
I remember when I got it from my mom, I laid it all out, and I was like, "Oh snap! I'm in AARP." They wouldn't give me life insurance because I had colon cancer. How about that? I was mad with them. What? Yeah, they wouldn't give me life insurance.
Nana boo boo, she made it.
Remember this? Because we got have our little banter, have a good time.
I got to post a video I did today, y'all, of me being silly with Missy Elliott in the car.
Hey, all my
videos
cousins over on Instagram. We are
cousins.
live on Instagram as well. Hey, we have her Instagram, my Instagram,
YouTube,
hey,
Facebook.
YouTube,
Y'all can find us everywhere, like really.
So if you want to see us head on, go to my YouTube page, Kendell and Lenice, and then also follow.
Look, right? We're looking everywhere.
But that's all right.
That's
right.
That's
how they do.
Anywhere you are, you got us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're circling back to recovery today. But let's talk about what that recovery is. It is recovering from breakup back to friendship. How do you get from I broke up, I cannot stand this person, I don't want to see them again, to hey, I just asked your wife for
me and my first ex, I think I said this on the show before. We spent my daughters and I spent the holidays with my first ex-husband.
Yeah.
Because you got a first ex-husband too.
I do.
So first ex-husband,
and
his wife and her family, was like, "Oh, I ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, we're cooler than a fan."
Yeah, me too. I always so close with them.
Yeah, always have been.
So the reason that we brought this up,
but some people you can't circle back to recovery.
You can, and we're talking about that today. You can circle back because circling back is about you. It is not about them.
That's very true. But you can't circle back to a friendship if you never had a friendship.
Well, then you're not circling back.
You just establishing or not.
Yeah, you're not circling back.
Exactly.
So we're talking
I just
about.
want to be clear because it's people out there, and people say, "Oh, well, God put us together," or we were friends, and sometimes people realize they weren't even friends.
They never were
because
friends.
even with friends, you want the best for your friend.
Right.
You don't want to see your friend hurting. You don't want to be dishonest or disloyal to your friend. Right?
Some people you have to accept it never was anything.
Yeah.
So the reason that we brought this up today too is because a lot of times, we go through things and there's no explanation or no guidance on how do I get from these angry feelings that I have back to I don't have those angry feelings anymore. Right. So I chose to use my first marriage because that is my longest circle back relationship. I met him when I was 14 years old. We were married. We broke up. We had a child together. And now our child is 27 years old, right? And he and I, talking about his father and I, are not only friends, but I'm also talk to his wife, have a relationship with his family. I don't care. Have a relationship with his family. All of that. And so we want to talk about how do you get to that? Like, how do you go from those angry, hurt feelings to this is somebody that I can call on the phone, I can talk about my child with, sharing things, I can celebrate his new marriage, all of that type. How do you
so
get
if we're
to that?
talking about first exes and we're going back, I was with mine starting at 18. We were never in a bad space ever. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have to get over animosity. I didn't have to get over anger. I didn't have to get over anything. We weren't. We were friends, and we're still family now. And we never had a tumultuous where we never talked or had anger ever.
Right.
We didn't even argue when we were married.
Yeah, we did.
But we just didn't communicate like we should have.
To work it out.
Right, because everybody's communication style is different. Mm-hmm. So we never argued. That's not good.
No, because you have to kind of go through things.
You know what my ex-husband used to do? If he wanted to say something, maybe if I was getting on his nerves or maybe something, he would go take out the trash and then come back and be like, "Okay, what we eat for dinner?" We wouldn't. It would nothing, and I'd be like, "Well, we gotta, So you can't argue or not get along, and he's a good person. Right. So we can't argue and not get along if both people are not doing it. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have that, and I can't talk about the other one because it's still in,
Yeah.
But let's see. Me and my ex circled back. We're homies now and have the best co-parenting relationship. I'm cool with his wife. See?
Yes. So it's possible, right?
It's definitely possible.
I'm going to tell you guys another one. So I have 2 children's fathers, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't say baby daddy. They are fathers. They have always been fathers. Right. They have stepped to the plate. I have no complaints with them as fathers, right? So even my daughter's father, we have a very strong relationship as well, and with his wife. When his mother died a couple of years ago, I came to Jersey. I stayed with him and his wife at their home. I sat with the family during the funeral. Yeah. I sat with the family at the repast, and his brother said, as we were sitting, so now it's me at the table, it's his wife, and it's my daughter's father. And his brother says, "Isn't this strange?" And his wife spoke up and said, "No, only if you make it strange.
Right, only if you.
What's so strange about it? Why do we have to be enemies just because we're not together in a relationship anymore?"
I totally agree. Like I said, even early on, my ex's wife, shout out to Monique. She was like, "What we doing? Let's hang out. Let's do." And when I mean hang out, I remember she said, "I want to have a girls trip." And I was like, "Oh, who all?" Like I said, "Who all is coming?" She's like, "You, Aaliyah, and Amara. Those are my daughters." Right. And me. And even because she had a child prior to them getting married too, and then so it's so interesting because even when she had her children. Like she had 2 boys and a girl.
Right.
I would take her daughter because she had the boys, the brothers, with my daughters, and we would go to the movies. I would do her hair. I've done my ex's wife's hair. Right. We've always been cool. We've never had contention.
Right. I have a whole group chat on Facebook. It says family too, right?
Yeah.
It's all my in-laws.
Yeah.
All of them.
I love that.
Here's the thing. When you first break up, right, there's always hurt feelings and there's misunderstandings and there's things that you don't understand why you went through what you went through.
Oh, thank you, Tamia. These are our Jersey Girl talk shirts. Yeah, she said she need a shirt.
We're gonna get you one. We'll tell you how you guys can get them. They come in other colors as well.
Yeah, but you can get your merch.
Right. So here's the thing, right? So
and it'll be water bottles as well.
Yeah. She be talking about other stuff like she's on a different show, y'all. Yeah.
No, but that's how you do. You have to interact. See,
I can't see the screen.
This is Ahisha's first show and first podcast and experience with this. So let me seriously, you have to make sure you engage everybody. So you engage, you get their questions, you hear their comments, you bring it back. That's how you do it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can't see your comments. So if I don't comment, that's why we're gonna start doing after them because I can't see your comments.
I can see your comments, so I'll see them for both of us.
Okay, good. Okay. My eyesight is really that bad. My daughter sees me all the time.
Okay. And she says she loves your hair. Thank you. I put it up there, Tamia. Another much. Jersey girl. We've been friends Jersey 40 years.
Mm-hmm. Love it. As a matter of fact, my friend who you came over our house, we've been Jersey girl too, friends for 3+ years. Yeah.
It's so funny because Tamia just had a birthday on March 5th. Mm-hmm. And I did the post. I was like, dang, we've been friends 40 years. You know, you're getting up there because you see older women back in the day. And I've known her since high school.
Yeah. So that's a part of the circling back to. It's not just relationships that your love relationship, your husband, your wife. It's also girlfriends and male friends and things like that. You know, things happen in life where you move or you go your separate way, or maybe you do have a falling out, right?
That part.
Not everything has to be an end. Some things are meant to end, right? Not everything has to be an end. But the secret to it is, and this is one of my secrets, right? Everybody does their thing differently, right? I found that when you stop arguing, like it's over, right? And you stop arguing, and you stop fighting, and you just let things be for a while.
Let them die down.
It's an amazing thing what that would do because you're dealing with your feelings, that person's dealing with their feelings. Life tends to go on, and things can just circle back around a certain level of peace, right? That's one thing that works, right? With the parenting thing, one of the things that
so you jumping on parenting?
No, just different ways of circling back, right?
Yeah.
With the parenting thing, sometimes we're circling back with that as well is about getting to a place of peace within yourself. So that's always my number one thing is instead of keeping the fight going on any topic, whether it's my girlfriend, it's a breakup with a guy, it's a job breakup, because that's a breakup too, right? You've been on job for 20 years.
No, I was on mine 13 years. So and it was that way in 2020.
Absolutely.
When I lost my job.
So breakups are not just about love relationships as far as like romantic, right? They're about love. I love my job, or I love this person, or I love that house that I live in. Like, say you live in a house that got burned down, right? That's a breakup, right? So those are emotional things. They are the emotional things that people go through, right? So one of my things I've always dealt with is not to keep a fight going. Like if something ends, let's not fight about it anymore. Yeah. Let's just let it end and let it be, because sometimes it will circle back around to peace, and that peace can work out to be anything. A relationship again. Sometimes it can work out just to be the friendship, a better parenting and co-parenting. Like the person over here said, she now has an amazing co-parenting relationship because of that, which is so important. Yeah,
it's definitely important. Circling back around in relationships, I definitely agree. Things should cool off. If it's meant to be a friendship, then that's something that has to be worked on. Every relationship is not worth mending, but every relationship is worth learning from,
right? And
growing
inner peace about
and having inner peace. And even if the relationships are not worth mending, it's still worth forgiving, because the forgiveness is always for you, and you want to be able to sleep well at night. You want peace in your spirit, peace in your soul,
absolutely,
right? Yeah. And if you can even come together to say, you know what, I wish you well, I pray for you, I don't want anything, bad to happen to you or whatever it is. And you can end, even if it's ending the friendship, the relationship, the marriage, the job, even if you can just have that last conversation. But I think a lot of people cannot have that last conversation. No. And I think a lot, sometimes cooler heads prevail, or, you're less in your feelings as time maybe goes on.
Or they try to have that last conversation while they're still in the midst of the fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
that's not going to work.
I'm getting that closure now.
Yeah,
but they're still too angry to hear or to see.
Yeah.
You know what I tell people? You don't need to mend your fences until you are no longer pointing fingers.
I love
you
that.
You can mend a fence when you are able to only look at your role, your place in it, your contributions to whatever it was, whether it's contributions to it being together or falling apart. The reason that matters, and let me tell you why, because when you go through a breakup, that person that you broke up with is not going with you. But guess who is going with you? You are. You're the one person that you take everywhere you go.
You can try to move out of the country, move out of the planet. You can move down the street, around the corner. But that's what people try to do, escape the people when sometimes they're escaping themselves.
It's all right.
So it all starts here. And that forgiveness.
Always. Like there's, listen, we can sit here all day and say the reason something didn't happen is because of that person did this and that person did that and this person did that. I promise you that when you look inside yourself, it always comes back to you, because you are your own point of attraction. My son said something to me one day, right? When he said it to me, you know how you have that instant reaction? I didn't say it out loud, but I said it in my mind, but I said, no, that's not true. He said, Mom, you know, one thing I learned is that whatever you don't like about yourself, whatever you don't like about somebody else,
you recognize it in yourself.
It's because you recognize it in yourself. It's something you don't like about yourself. And I was like, My first reaction was like, But the more I thought about that, the more I began to experience, I was like, that is exactly right. Anytime that I feel like, even that self-righteous, like I want to tell somebody about themselves, I'm really telling them about myself. Yeah. Like that's the truth. Yeah. Right? That's so you have to come back and check yourself and say, I just told that person to get their life together. But really, I'm the one who needs to get their life together. Yeah.
Oh, we definitely can. She said, oh my God, Kendell, we need to chat soon about this topic. Oh my God, y'all hitting my spirit.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you
for
letting
have
us
over
know
here.
That.
Amen to that. Advice I need. Preach.
Jay, that's my son. So she was saying appreciate.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And that's actually my son's. What she calls them.
Girl, I told you I could see with my glasses
I know.
off, girl.
I forgot. Actually, text it on here to Koya. What you call the boys? She calls them her not adopted sons. Her bonus. I think that's what it is. Her bonus sons, and I love that too. Yeah, bonus. Because I look at her like that. Like even though my sons are adults when she married their dad, my son and he has two other sons. They still need that. Like I love that she is a part of that parenting team. And shout out to Koya and shout out to I know she's probably not watching, but
was Jada and Will. Like 30 years ago, they came up with that term when Trey was younger. And that was when he was little. That's the first thing
the bonus,
that I heard is because she was like, he ain't gonna, because remember, Will Smith had Trey.
Right,
when they got married. And she was like, I don't like that step. It feels so distant.
Yeah, it's
really a bonus to me. Right. That was
And I feel like she is a bonus to them.
I love
you know what I mean? Like it's another person for them to go to and talk to. And shout out to Koya, shout out to my daughter's again bonus mom. You know, they are beautiful women who have been supportive. My daughter's bonus mom. I stop saying stepmom, right? I call her other mother. That's why I say her other mother, right? She has been a part of my daughter's life since she was a teenager. And again, another person who came into somebody's life who already had children, who already were teenagers. Let me tell you, teenagers are not easy to come into. They already got their own mind and their own this and my mom, this and my dad, that, right? She stepped up to the plate and did her thing, you know, and it was beautiful, right? Yeah. So one of the steps is don't argue, don't try to make amends in the midst of the arguments, right? Let peace come. Go deal with yourself. Go heal yourself. Go make peace with yourself, because once you do that, then the healing part is like super, super easy. And here's my main thing. Let the past be the past. That person that I was married to when I was 18 is not the same person today. I don't tell the story of that person. She doesn't exist and he doesn't exist. The man that he is today is an excellent father. I'm assuming a great husband. His wife seems to be amazingly happy. I have no resentments because we were different people. We lived different lives. And so that's why we're able to come together and be friends and support each other. I went to my ex-husband's, my ex-husband's wife for dating advice.
Recently, right?
Just this week, just the other day. Listen, she's rocking her marriage. Why would I not go talk to her? Yeah. So I want to give you gave all of the. I thought we were gonna go back and forth. No, but I'm saying you gave all of yours, and I said I didn't know if we were gonna go back and forth. I didn't know how we were gonna do it. I didn't know how we were gonna do it.
You gotta go back and forth. Yeah. But ways that you can circle back, you gotta really understand that it doesn't matter whose fault it is. If a relationship ends, at the end of the day, the main issue is it ended. Right? Yeah. So you really have to understand that. And pointing fingers is not going to change the fact that it's ended.
Right, yeah.
That
she
it's
just
over.
said, I'm grateful for my wisdom in my 40s. Absolutely. You got it, girl. And shining with it, too. I love to even listen to you. Yeah.
And it's so important to be able to understand that and know and go through the process, because everybody that came with you is not here to stay with you.
Absolutely.
Everybody is not meant to be on the long journey. Mm-hmm. Some people are on that quick journey, that road trip. Right. They're not on that plane and that destination trip. They're not, and you have to understand that and acknowledge that and really see that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the signs are there. But I just did a video the other day about holding on to people. Yep. Stop holding on to people. When that time is up, there's an expiration and you part ways. And you want to do that amicably.
That's a word. Amicably.
Right. Amicably. You don't want to, and this is the thing, we're not going to act like it's all peaches and cream, because some people out there are going through hell. Yeah. And they're going through the snobs, the crying, the heartbreak, the why me, what if this, how am I ever going to get over it, the heartbreak, beating themselves up, all of that. Yeah. But I do want you to understand that there is recovery after.
Right.
You're going to say something?
I was going to ask you this question, right? How do you keep, whenever you go through anything, how do you keep from being bitter about what you went through?
You have to understand everything that you go through is for your greater good. It is. Yes, so being bitter is only going to make you old. I ain't trying to be old.
Angry,
untrusting of other people, distrusting of other people, unloving, the energy that you're going to carry with you. Nobody ain't going to want to be around you. Yeah. So being bitter is an emotion. So whatever you're feeling, feel that. But feel that for 5 minutes, not 5 years.
Right. One of my ways of keeping bitter, this has been my way for years, even before I was into manifesting and energy, and all that. My thing for being bitter is to look at every situation and say, what can I learn from it? If I can, and it's not even if I can, because I always do, right? I always find something to learn. And I said this to my niece today, who's just turning 30 plus, right? And she said, but my problem is that I learned something, but then I don't know what I'm supposed to do with applying it, right? And I said to her, not everything that you learn at the moment you learn is supposed to be applied. You may not apply it for 5, 10, 15 years from now.
It's in your toolbox.
It's in your toolbox.
It's in your hard drive.
Hold it, and one day you'll either use it for yourself or you'll be talking to somebody and go, wait, I remember this. It's right here. Let me bring it back out. Yeah. So everything is not about what am I supposed to take and use right now, but everything I'm supposed to learn from. Yeah. And sometimes I learn it immediately, and sometimes I learn it a little bit later. Yeah. But the joyfulness comes from knowing that this is always working out for me. So there's always something good that's about it. Yeah. Always.
And Ahisha said, because I don't want to be like, ain't no secrets. Ahisha said, we need more than 30 minutes. It's our show. If you want to go more than 30 minutes, we go more than 30 minutes. But that's fine. Don't be saying we.
Did y'all see last week's show?
That was because weren't you interviewing me?
So it's 30 minutes.
But you were interviewing me, right? So
She's like, it's my book. We're doing it.
I mean, because it's just loose. Whatever the feeling is. Yeah, whatever.
What do you guys think? Do you like the 30 minutes? I feel like it goes too fast. Like we got our camera set up and then it was over.
Yeah, I mean, we can go, like we said, we will never go more than an hour because we respect your time. So it'll be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on we're just going to flow and let it go.
She said, ditto, you have been a blessing to me also. Sister friends, that's right, girlfriend, sister friends. I love it. Listen, guys, when you get a mentality that there's no reason, and this is going to sound like very blasé to say, right, that there's no reason to hold on to anger. You might say, Aisha, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what this person did to me. Babies, I promise you, in 50 years, I promise you I have had some horrific stuff done to me. Horrific. There is nothing that you cannot forgive for because it is about you. It is not about the person you are forgiving. It is about you, for you to heal, for you to move on, for you to grow, for you to let go. And that's why you can heal from anything, because it is not about the person. They got to heal from whatever they did. That's their business. They got to live with whatever they did. But when you can say, I forgive, it is for you, for your goodness and your good feeling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's this show is about circling back. And so each week, this is episode 3. We got 3 in the box. 3 locked
3 and a half, but that first one didn't go through, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't get the Wi-Fi going.
Yeah. That was just a tester. Yeah. This is the 3rd episode. And each episode, we're going to be circling back to a subject. So if you missed the first 2, go back on 2 Jersey Girls Talk Instagram.
The first one you can see on mine in full.
And then they're all on my YouTube channel, Kendell, Lenice. So definitely. Wait till y'all hear the story behind my ex, and if I can forgive, anybody can.
Right. And guys, listen, I'm glad she said it, like, wait till you hear, right? We want to start like what we call the after show, not really a show afterward, but we go on and you guys make your comments and we kind of follow up with that. Listen, if you miss it,
call in.
Yeah, call in. If you miss something on the live, go in. We're on 2 Jersey Girls Talk. We want to talk to you. We want to hear, like, hey, what did you get from the show? What did you want us to cover that we didn't, right? Because your questions really help us. They help us to know what you want to, what you want help with. What does that say?
Yeah. So if you watch us also on YouTube, we can put your comment right up in the video. So you can put your comment right up in the video and we can read it and we can go through there.
Yeah.
And also we're going to provide a call-in number as well. But yeah, child, we got some stories. I know.
Listen, I can just imagine the stories that are out there, guys. We need to have a little private group where we can tell our stories where the whole world doesn't know, right? Because these stories are not for the faint of heart and they're not for everybody. And like, for instance, my children are adults, but there are still some things. They could be 60 years old. I still don't want them to know about their mom. That's just facts.
Yeah. Well, my kids know everything about me.
No,
they know.
Mine don't.
I've told.
Right, live Jerry Springer life. I've lived.
She said, I probably ain't lived the Jerry Springer life. Now I'm not saying they know when I was 1, when I was 2,
right.
when I was 3.
I'm not talking about that kind of stuff.
No, but it's certain things because I wanted their mom, and then, and you might have totally different things that they should not hear. It just depends on what it is for everybody, and you can't tell. Of course, you don't want to tell your kids everything, but you want to tell them enough for them to know who their mother is. I think that's so important.
I think that my children definitely know who I am, but my children don't need to know who I was because let me tell you why I say that. I don't even mean my children, right? When you're letting go of your past and you keep reliving it,
no, you can't do that.
I don't do that, right? There are things that I'll never tell again because they're just not me anymore. They're not worth telling anymore, unless I'm saving somebody else for it.
But that's it. And even in my classes in session, where we have weekly, and it was about telling your story and telling your testimony, and it's not really for you to tell the testimony to relive it over and over again, but you're using it as a tool to help
when
people.
You get
but not just
you can use it as
there
a tool.
You go,
because not everybody is ready to tell that story again. I can tell my past stories with joy and healing. Yeah. But if you had to ask me 10 years ago to tell that story, I would look at you like, no, I'm not repeating that.
Because you weren't healed.
Yeah, I'm not
you weren't
living that again.
Yeah. I mean, that's facts. That's true, because you can't, if you continuously tell your story as you're still
trauma,
in the trauma, then each time it's going to set you back and break you down, and you're going to have to spend more time recovering from that trauma. So you have to get through that, and healing is progressive. So you got to get through it in order to be able to say it.
Funny story. So one time, this was years ago, I was helping somebody write a paper for their psychology class, and so one of the projects they had to do was interview somebody, right? So I was like, oh, interview me, and I was helping them type it because I type faster. I'll type it. You ask me questions, I'll type my answers. Now, listen, guys, I only had to type my answers. I didn't even have to say them out loud, right? I was still so emotionally wounded by what I had been through. I couldn't even type the answers. His last thing on his paper said, subject unresponsive. I could not even begin to tell the story. It was still so traumatic for me.
Yeah.
So, you have to get to that place where telling the story is a reliving in relief, not necessarily in a reliving of like, you made me tell it again and now I'm all hurting all over again.
Yeah.
Because
sorry about that.
Here we go.
We got plugs all over the place, y'all.
Y'all, listen, I should show y'all. There's like wires everywhere.
No, we don't.
And we're not. And listen, and we're not at home. That's the funny part, right?
No. But that's
We
all
gotta
right.
set up
It's
like
live.
we got our own
I don't even
studio.
get caught up in the hype.
Right.
What
We got
I
our
do
own
is just
studio.
plug it back on and keep on pushing. That's how we
listen.
do.
We got our own studio out in public. We don't care. I don't care. We're having fun. I hope that guys are learning something and getting something out of it. Even if you're just laughing at us, because we're gonna be goofy sometimes, right? We're gonna be silly. We're gonna be off the cuff, and not everything that we circle back to is gonna be like some deep, heavy stuff. Sometimes we're gonna circle back to silliness. Right? Wait till y'all see our
I ain't never left.
video. No, never.
I ain't never left my silliness at home.
Never.
And I love it because if for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, our birthdays are a day apart. I will be 52 and she will be 51. June 16th, June 17th.
And we're so proud of that.
And so proud. So proud. Because, nobody ever guesses my age, ever. And when I say my age, people are usually shocked.
Right here,
and it's because it's about the spirit. It's about what comes from the inside out.
Absolutely,
that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Now, if we were old, bitter, all the words that go together, if we were bitter, if we were unhealed, if we were, and we're not healed of everything. Let's just be clear.
I'm going through something right now, but even the way I deal with it is so different than what I would have dealt with it years ago.
Yeah. So tell me, thank you. She said, so good, thank you. Those are literally my mom and my sister's birthday. What, Jess?
No way.
Cousin, are you serious?
That's blessed right there. That's blessed right there. Listen, we had to celebrate together.
So that means that they were beautiful people.
Yes. They were interesting and exciting and fun.
Yes. But I love to be silly. Like, I don't know how not to be silly.
Yeah.
I don't know
doing a video like just
right. And I don't know, y'all talked about my hot mess fashion show. That's what I called it. You saw my hot mess fashion show? Yeah, it's on Instagram. Like, I don't care.
I dance in the woods.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm me 24/7, and I don't have to be a certain way to put on the camera.
Yeah.
Because it's always for me, it's about encouraging and inspiring someone else.
Yeah.
So they can just be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't go to look in the camera to see if I had anything in my teeth. I didn't. I walked past the mirror. I said, "Ooh." I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Self-love Saturday.
Listen, when I do my little car videos and I'm out in the woods, no makeup, I have a scarf around my head, and I'm just looking like crazy. I don't care because at that moment, I'm feeling so good.
That.
What does it say?
Let's talk about that. Hey, not to stereotype all Gemini.
We got time. That's a whole nother subject.
We need to do a whole episode for that. Because people get it twisted with Gemini.
Geminis are crazy.
And I never heard that one. Oh, I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. Crazy people are crazy, not Geminis.
No,
that we have that dual personality. We're two people.
I am a dual personality. Sometimes I'm very, very outgoing, and sometimes I'm laid back in the cut. You won't even know I'm in the room. Yeah. And those are my dualities. But we're very creative. We're compassionate people. We say what we mean. We mean what we say.
You learned about being a Gemini?
What?
Cut the lights.
That's all right.
Get out. You know something I learned about a Gemini, and I was going to tell you this one day in a private conversation just between us, but I'm going to share it, right? Geminis will entertain themselves.
Oh, for sure.
We could be an only child or a sibling of 10. We will entertain ourselves. We find, and I don't mean this like in a egotistical way, right? But our imaginations, we can entertain ourselves. The creativity that comes out of us, you can give me a marker and a whiteboard, and I can entertain myself for hours.
Yeah,
I can escape into a book for hours because I can go. My brain will take me on that journey into that book over high seas and pirates. And listen, I've been to other countries and lived other time zones in this mind right here.
They shut this light off over here, so then there we weren't over there. So it got dark over here, but we're still here. Hey, brother Leroy. But I never had anybody stereotype me who knows me about something.
I know.
It would be somebody be like, "Oh, Gemini," just like they think, "Oh, Gemini," or Tauruses are bullheaded. They don't do, and certain things in the zodiac. But I've never had anybody. Have you ever had anybody once they met you to say that? Me
they're
either.
Usually surprised, like, "Oh, I thought Geminis were like this or this or that."
And I don't know, like, "Oh, Capricorns are like this," or but I think really with individuals, you really have to see individuals.
Yeah.
Like somebody might
said that.
see it.
What did you mean by when you said stereotype?
She said, "What did you mean, Jess, when you said stereotype?" She said They gave her hell. What does that mean, though? I don't know what that means. But all right, so let's go back, and then we'll wait for you to respond, and we'll go back.
Yeah, because everybody kind of goes through something different. The biggest thing I ever heard was Geminis. Geminis are crazy.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And again, always to somebody who doesn't like know me, just like, oh, what's your sign? I'm a Gemini. Oh.
I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I said maybe you met somebody who used being a Gemini as an excuse for watching Crazy about it.
Oh.
I'm a Gemini. I'm crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it.
Oh, no, then yeah, you shouldn't judge anybody based off of anything.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't judge anybody. If somebody's from this neighborhood, you shouldn't stereotype them and judge them. If somebody is this from this, you should never do that. You should take people for who they are. You should never judge somebody based off of your experience with one person that was Black, one person that was white, one person that was heavy, that was a Gemini. You should never do that. You should really judge people based off of who they are.
People are too diverse to group people together anyway.
Yeah, double person. I do have double. Sometimes I'm laid back, and sometimes I'm outgoing. Sometimes I'm very, very quiet. Sometimes I'm very, very talkative. So, I mean, who on here, no matter what sign they are, who on here is sad all the time, happy all the time, anything all the time? Your personalities are layered, right?
Right.
Anybody's layered, right? You're not the one person. Like, that's ridiculous.
Like, you and I are both Geminis, but
that's different. Ridiculous. It's like you have, yes, exactly. Our birthdays a day apart, and we're different.
Yeah.
You know, she wanted to make sure everything is like, gotta do this, and I'm like, allow room to be.
Like, I don't care.
No, I'm like, that's not the big deal. If it messes up, it messes up. Like, I don't get caught up in all of that. Like, I'm very, laid back. And she was like, no, it got to be like this.
But you're also probably more laid back because you've been doing this for years, where I haven't. Like a year from now, I'd be like,
I can see that also, but at the same time, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I really do believe that with a lot of things. Like, it's going to be, and if a mistake happens,
and that's how we wouldn't do this. Like, if I couldn't roll with it, we just would have done it. I'd be like, I can't do that. I can't roll with it.
Yeah. So,
but I'm one of those people. Like, I want to do it right the first time. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't turn out right, that's okay. But it won't be because I didn't try to.
Yeah, you definitely want to try to do your best with everything. It's important to do that. But this is a word for anybody. This is a word you have to understand as well. Is if it doesn't work out, let's circle back to the relationships. And if you had heartbreak and you want to be in a relationship or a friendship with maybe somebody you were romantically involved with, or a friend, you had a heartbreak and break up with a friend, falling out. So if you circle back and it doesn't work out, or because this is another thing,
right? Maybe they don't want to work it out with you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that part. So you can go to someone and say, hey, I want to circle back to see what's here in this relationship or friendship. And they might be like, no, I'm good.
Yep, I'm done.
And you have to be okay with that.
Or you might be the person who says that.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. It is what it is. I had a conversation with somebody recently. They called me because they wanted to fix things with somebody they hadn't spoken to in 15 years. Yeah. Right? Wow. And so they came to me. And at first, my original advice was, listen, I wasn't there. I can't take your side. And I can't take their side because I wasn't there, right? Yeah. I said, and since you're the only person that's on the phone with me, I can only address you. Yeah. This is what I said to them. And this might have sounded harsh, right? So I said, let me ask you this question. If this person that you haven't spoken to in 15 years dies tomorrow, and you never get to make it right with them, what are you going to do? You're the only person that's stressed about not working this out right now. So if you could never talk to this person, if they never answer the phone, or they just don't exist anymore, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. That's why it's so important to make peace with yourself about things, because maybe you cannot go to that person and work it out. Maybe you, for physical reasons, for emotional reasons, they don't want to work it out. They're not there. They moved away. You lost their number. They blocked you. All kinds of reasons, right? Yeah. You have to learn how to work those things out within yourself without the need of that other person. Yeah. I had a friend that I had for many, many years. And I remember one time she was going through it.
like emotionally going through it. And I remember, and she was just kind of trying to heal from a lot of different things.
Right.
So she was just going down a list, I believe, calling people. And she said one time, and we hadn't talked in a little bit, I was letting her deal with or go through what she was going through. And she said that a family member told her, what if Kendell was not here anymore? How important would she be, and what would she mean to you if you'd never talked to her again? And she called me, and she was, very emotional. And she was like, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. And I understand that. And I respect that. And I received her. We didn't have a falling out per se, but it's still, you have some relationships and some friendships that go through ebbs and flows.
Right.
And there's distance between you. Yeah. Right. And a lot of my friends I've had for 40 years, for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. I have long-standing relationships. So us Geminis ain't all that bad, because
I got at least 5 friends.
People run towards us, not away from us. Trust and believe. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact. Honestly,
that's a fact.
We're
we're very loyal. People run to us. They don't run away from us. Because when we care, we care. And when we ride for you, we ride for you. And when we want to help you, we help you. Like, we're very giving and loving type people until we're not. Let's just be real. Until we're not. We will give 60-11 chances. But on that 60-12 chance, when we say it's a wrap, it's a wrap. Because we don't throw people away. We hold people until it's time to release them. But then once we decide it's a wrap, what's that, Mariah? It's a wrap.
Now I will say I'm a little bit different in that sense. Like
she said it's the high five for me.
Just gotta get it in. Look, don't make us do a little Jersey dad, right?
No. But what I can still do is I know for me, and I don't think you either. I don't hold hatred in my heart.
No, I cannot.
I don't. I cannot. I will see somebody and I will speak, but I know the distance.
I may not even ever come into your world to allow you to do those behaviors if you haven't changed. But I cannot hold on to anger and hatred. I will speak to that person. I will be kind to them. Listen, I one time had a falling out.
But I would do it too. But I do it walking.
Right. I had a falling out with a friend. Right. That she, I wouldn't go into the story. What happened? Right. So I invite her to a day that we spent together drinking wine and talking and playing in the pool and whatever like that. And at the end of the day, I said to her, I want you to know that this is our last time together. I am ending this friendship, but I want to end it in peace.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to be cruel, but that was really where I was. It was like, you mean enough to me not to end this in anger. So we spent that day together. We laughed, we joked, we talked about our friendship, we talked about things. But then I was letting her know that this is it.
So let me ask you. So did you know that was the last day of your friendship? But she didn't know yet.
Well, here's what happened. I didn't know if she knew or not, because in my mind she had ended it.
Got it.
I just wanted to make peace about that ending.
Got it.
Right, because that's not how I do things. You know what I mean? We're not going to have an argument. And then
so she decided that she no longer wanted to be your friend?
No. Okay. She did something that I was not going to mess with.
Got it.
Right? And so we went through our little period of not speaking, but I felt like we had been friends long enough not to just let it go like that. To say to her, this is what's going on. This is why we won't be friends again. But I want you to know I don't have no hatred. Listen, this is the thing. And I don't mean this in a way like, I'm such a great friend that you should never want to get rid of me. That's not what I mean, right? But if you will allow other people to come in and change your opinion about me, and you know me and we've been friends for years, and you met somebody you don't know, come in and say something.
That happened to me before.
That to me,
that happened.
And I'm not saying I was right or wrong, so please don't, guys. I'm not saying that I was right for what I did, but that was how I handled it. I had been friends with this person for long enough that I felt like we needed to have a moment in a day to heal, so that she could walk away okay too. It wasn't just about me. I wanted her to say, you know what, we may never be as close as we were, but you can always call me. I will not be rude to you. As a matter of fact, when I needed her, she came through for me after this. That's just how you can be with people. You don't necessarily have to be this close again. Because maybe there are things going on that you can't be, or it's time to go back around.
It's like I talk about one of one of the friendships, I don't really go in detail, but in my book. And when someone shows you who they are and how they really feel, because so many people pretend. And this person had been in my life for many, 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 many years. But she showed me some things that I could clearly see she was not on my team by some of the things that she said out of her mouth. And certain things you say really tells me what you really think. So even if you apologize to me, I'm going to receive the apology, but I know now moving forward, and I can't unknow what I know.
Right, that's the thing, and I want to say this, right, because there's always that fear of like turn the other cheek, right? What do you belong to?
She's saying, love the combo. She has to hop off. Great job, cousin.
Thank you.
Thank
you
my
so
sister,
much.
unfortunately. What do you mean, Jess? Like, it's certain things that you can't unknow? She said that's her and her.
Right. Sometimes, listen, guys, sometimes it does happen, right? You do go through things with people that you can't unknow.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, right? I want to say have grace and mercy with people.
Absolutely.
Everybody changes.
Absolutely.
Everybody grows.
Absolutely.
Yeah. At the moment of what my friend was going through, I couldn't deal with that. She may be different now. We haven't had an opportunity to see each other, be in each other's lives because we've moved.
Would you want to circle back to that?
I don't know. I don't ever close doors because I'm not God, and I'm not the
I
universe.
I close the door, but I leave the window open.
I don't know what the plans. I don't close doors.
I
believe in letting go, but not cutting off. There's a difference,
Yes.
right? So letting go means that I release. This is not working. I release.
Yeah.
Cutting off means nothing. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Oh, the universe is saying I need you in my life. I'm running the show here. No, that's cutting off to me. There's something negative about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you all the time, when you cut people off constantly, you become the cut off.
You mean people won't cut you off? That's what
You
you mean?
become the cut off.
That's a word.
You look up and all of a sudden you don't have friends and you don't have family and you don't have any support. When you cut people off, you become the person that is cut off. Let go. Doesn't even sound sweet.
Let go.
Let go.
So it's that thing where like you're holding and holding and holding and you're mad and your hands keep getting red. You hold on. But if you just go like this, let it go. That's free.
I'm about to be real vulnerable.
That's freedom.
I'm going through something right now, right? That I have not circled back around, right? And so I'm dealing with my ups and downs, my highs and lows about it, right? And you might say, Ahisha, just tell us what it is, right? But I believe, this is me, I'm not saying it's right, this is what I do. I'll circle back to you guys when I've actually learned what I'm supposed to learn, because that's when I'll share it with you, right? But the hurt and the heartache, right, had me act in a way that I wasn't proud of. Like I was angry and I revolted and, all of that, right? It didn't last very long. I don't stay mad.
She even snapped on me, y'all.
I did, but I was honest to say
but that's real. Yeah, it's real. You were raw in your emotions.
Raw in my emotions, right? But what I do know, this is the part that gives me peace and joy. I know from my years of experience that I'm going to make peace with this. I'm going to make peace with that person. I know that. So all I have to do is just go through this process of whatever it is I'm supposed to get out of it and learn from it and all of that.
See, that's that right there. Jess says she's done heinous things to me, and I never understood why she was like that. Gave her chance after chance, and she still showed she hasn't changed. Then you let go. And it doesn't matter if it's your sister, your mama, your aunt, your cousin. When it's time, when it's doing a disservice to you, your emotional and mental health, it's time to let go. When it's starting to manifest in your physicality and you become sick, every time that person calls, every time that person shows up, you feel all of the energy in your body. That's when you know it's time to let go. Now, like Ahisha said, you don't have to close the door all the way. I always say
letting go doesn't mean stop loving.
No, it doesn't. Right. That's a good point.
Letting go.
That right there. It doesn't mean that you stop loving, but you're setting emotional boundaries for you. And you're never going to be able to heal if somebody keeps going like this. Right. If I keep going like this to you, it's going to be a bruise there eventually. And I'm going to keep doing this. Right. And it's going to be.
Eventually, I'm going to go off and be like, stop doing that to me. When I should have just told her first time, don't do that. I don't like it.
Right.
That's the boundary, right?
Right.
Don't do that. I don't like it.
Right.
Instead of keep letting her do it, I finally snap off, hurt her feelings, because I done let it build up so far that I've gone off about this poke, but I don't talk about everything that ain't nothing to do with that poke because I'm so mad. That's like when happens. You fight in a relationship, it's never about the slippers in the middle of the floor. Never. The slippers in the middle of the floor was a straw that broke the camel's back on that, right? So when you
see, but that
say?
too, that just she said, God cut her off of me because God will push somebody right out your life. And she said because she would have never let go.
And this is the part about the grace and mercy, guys. When I want to go back to that because it's so important. Grace and mercy means understanding that sometimes people behave the way they behave because they're hurting
and they're unhealed issue.
To do with you. And when you get out of your way on that and say this is not personal, with your sister, it's probably not personal, even if she says it is. Even sometimes people might say, oh, it's because you did this and this and this. Again, what people don't like about you is because it's something they don't like about themselves.
That's how they're able to identify it and know it and see
know
it
it's so in you, right?
Because they see something in you. And it could be something in you that you may have and they don't. It could be something as simple as that. But they don't know if they come to you with kindness, then you may be able to share or you may be able to love them in a different way. Right. Because if somebody comes to you with negativity, all kind of anger, vigor, just that vigor that they want to fight, then that's how you're going to receive them. And this is going to be like this, right? You're not going to be able to help because we're all made of feelings and emotions and goo and gump all on the inside. But what happens is life and experience harden us. And then we become these people that we're not really in the inside.
No. And you do and say things that like that, oh my gosh, I didn't want to say that. I didn't mean it. It's not so much like me. I don't say things that I regret. But I regret how I said it.
Because I've said harsh, I've used tones and harsh words, tones and harsh words. And over the years, I've had to learn how to speak even in emotion and even in anger. And that was tough because my mouth could uplift, but if I'm feeling attacked or defensive, then it can tear down. It can tear down. And I never want to get to that point or be around, and nobody could make you, let's just say, but be around someone where I'm compelled to do that. I want to be around love and great energy and great vibes. But if somebody keeps going like this to me, eventually I'm going to say, would you stop
doing that? Right.
And it might be like, and then the gaslighting part comes what? Stop what? What do you mean? I was just doing that.
Yeah, I was trying to get your attention. Yes. Or, this is another thing I say, that just because somebody is your family and your loved one doesn't mean you have to keep letting them shoot at you. Get out the way of the bullet.
Because you living right now with a vest on. You living with a whole mask and protection on because you don't know what that will do to puncture your heart, to puncture your soul. We are, at the end of the day, we all were born loving and caring and sweet and compassionate. It's just when life and people's experiences and what you go through in life, then you don't get healed. So then it's one, well, I don't trust them. Two, I don't trust people. Two, I don't trust other women. Two, I don't have no man friends. Two, and then it's just like a brick wall. Next thing you know, it's like
you're by yourself.
Like people. You're by yourself.
I don't do
gaslighting, honey. I talk about it often on my podcast, and in speaking engagements because it's real.
You know what gaslighting is?
I just did an episode yesterday on Shine with Kendell and Lenice with parental gaslighting.
You know what I realized gaslighting is? Gaslighting is the immature reaction to when you feel bad about something you did. That's all it is. It really is.
It's deeper than that.
It's deep, but listen. But it isn't. It is a reaction to something.
It is a reaction.
It's an immature, hurtful reaction to something that you've done. Right. And when I stop for a moment and realize that, like, you know what, you're only saying that because you're not mature enough to deal with what your behavior.
But see, that's this, and I don't want to. That's more than gas. That's not that. Gaslighting is not that. It's not a response to an immature. It's not that.
I didn't say it's a response to an immature thing. To me, it is immature. It is immature.
No, but that's not what it is. That's really like narcissism and gaslighting. It's like real. It's not.
No, it's real. Yeah. But I'm not saying it's not real, right?
But I don't want to minimize it.
No, I'm not minimizing it either, right? What I'm saying is when somebody gaslights me, I look at it like that is an immature response to something that you don't want to be a man enough or woman enough to stand up to. You rather push it off on other people than say, taking responsibility for your behavior and the things that you do.
Yes, because a person who is an emotional abuser,
right,
they don't own any responsibility or nothing.
Yeah,
they're not going to hold it because that's narcissistic. Now, all gaslighters aren't narcissists, and all narcissists aren't gaslighters. Well, most narcissists are gaslighters, right?
Yeah, they are.
But you can be a gaslighter and be unaware of it.
Yeah.
You're a narcissist. Even some therapists will not see narcissists because they are never going to say it's my fault.
Right. Yeah,
it's me. And therapists, coaches, counseling, once they get that diagnosis and once they see, they don't want to because it's like this. You're going up a brick wall because they're never going to. Right. So some people gaslight and they're unaware of it. And then they can make corrections. And then that's where it might be immaturity. It may be because they're never going to take responsibility.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes it is like, no, I didn't. Like you see little kids that no, I didn't. Like,
but gaslighters will put everything on their victim.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. Yeah. You know, they'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, me too, girl. Yeah. Me too. Absolutely. And it's so we are there. Me too. All right, y'all. We are at the 8 o'clock hour.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Listen, we're growing and getting this together, having so much fun. You see, we got our shirts now.
Every time we do this, I feel like we're going like this, like we're on spring break. I feel like we're on spring break. Woo! Spring break.
Listen, if you guys love the shirts, I don't know if you can see it really good.
I got 60-11.
But you can get them. And here, and then we'll go here, and they come in black and blue, white, red. You can get them any color you want and support us. I'm also going to get a QR code put on them so that if you want people to join our 2 Jersey girls, you can just scan the QR code and say, join us, right? Because we're going to be circling back to things. And hey, guys, listen, if there's anything you want to talk about, maybe you want us to repeat something or go to something, just let us know. We're here to talk about it, to get into it.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to 2 Jersey Girls Talk, live on YouTube, live on Instagram.
Stay tuned for the shenanigans.
Make sure you share our episodes and let people know about us. This is season 3. This is episode 3. What are we going to talk about episode 4?
What do you guys want us to talk about?
We're going to give about a minute to see if someone put circling back to what? Let us know. What do you want us to circle back?
You can go to 2 Jersey Girls and put it up there if you can't think of anything right now, but we would love to know.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of 2 Jersey Girls Talk. Circling back to what's real. What's really you?
Me.
Oh. Circling back to you.
I'm real.
Circling back to you.
50 years old is real, baby.
We need to have a birthday episode if we some type of way.
Yes.
We gotta have an episode.
What days are our birthday falling this year?
I think mine is a Saturday, I think.
So that makes mine a Friday.
I think. I don't know.
We could do a special
we'll find out. You sure you ain't gonna be this one? I really shouldn't even be talking to her. Like, I really shouldn't be talking to her right now. Yeah,
I don't know if y'all still follow, but I'm going to be in Dubai
that's why.
Going into May, so we're going to do a show from Dubai.
I'm not going to be in Dubai, so we ain't doing a show from Dubai.
You up in my suitcase. I carry you in my suitcase. No. I can ball you up.
I want to be in Dubai.
Next time.
No. So I ain't going. Okay, she big money grip over here.
No. It took me a year and a half to pay for that. Don't play.
I'm recovering from financials. I lost my job in 2020. I'm recovering. We're going to talk about circling back to money. To money.
No, we are. No, listen, guys. That is going to be one of our shows. I have someone who is helping women become entrepreneurs, and we are going to be circling back to that as well. We got a lot going on. Circle back to skincare.
Oh, I am an entrepreneur, and it's I'm trying. We doing it. But you know what? God is amazing. I already know. I bet I get it.
I bet I do.
Bye, y'all. Thank you for watching. God bless y'all.